Hi, guys.
Hey, Bill.
Hi there.
Better. That's the topic tonight. Yep.
You're going to show us how that works? You're going to show us how that works?
I'll just see if I can do something with my sound here. Todd, try that again.
Let me turn mine up.
Ah, there, good. I can hear you now. That's good. Hi, Karen. No, your statement was great, Karen. I thought it was awesome.
I totally listened to the wrong one, though.
That's
Completely.
fine. It was good. It was a great, yeah.
I was listening to Corey tonight while I was waiting for the call. Oh, yeah.
Hi, Victoria.
Wait.
Hi. Hi, Yvonne. I liked your comments too. Everybody's comments were great. I was really quite impressed. It was really, really good.
Dory made some, but she's actually out at a meeting.
Oh, good for her. That's awesome. Keep her busy. Keep her busy, Todd.
Exactly.
Hi, Deb. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
Hi, Amy. I know you're out there somewhere.
Hello. I'm just trying to get started here.
No worries. No worries. Well, I thought everybody's comments are really great. One of the things I thought was pretty cool is she began her Young Living business, as it were, with a hand purifier. I thought she pulls a hand purifier out of her purse, and that's how she got her where she started. I'm going, that's pretty interesting. Oh, there's Amy side by side. That's awesome. Hi, Amy number 2. Amy number 2 is going, which one's that? Hi, Amy Lusa.
Hi.
Hi. So who wants to dive in? Who wants to start?
Room in my house.
Sorry, Amy?
I said I'm in the only quiet room in my house, the bedroom.
Oh, well, good. We won't make any comments on that, Amy. So who wants to start off?
I will.
Okay, that's a surprise for me, Nick. That's a surprise, but okay.
You liked my little video, did you?
I loved your video. I thought it was really, really good. Did anybody see Nick's video on building a place to store oils?
Yeah. I did. Yeah, it was very easy to do, very simple, and very cheap.
I think even I can do that. I'm going, oh.
There's pictures coming too. You haven't approved yet, Bill.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's start.
All right.
So what I really hit home for me is fear is the devil whispering in your ear. You just have to tell him to go back to hell.
Good one.
And send the devil and his fear mongering to take a hike. Those really hit home for me because yeah, that's what you have to do.
You're right, Nick. It is, and that's hard to do sometimes. You know, sometimes Victoria's mentioning, about being brave, and it's hard being brave sometimes. It's hard to step up and do these things.
Well, and there's situations where if you start to build a relationship with somebody, for example, if you stop at the same place for gas all the time and you get to know that a person there, and you sort of prep them a bit, maybe give them a book or something, and you want to invite them to a meeting or to a home sharing, come over, or just get together to talk about it, and you sort of, every time you go in, you sort of say, hi, how are you today? Okay, everything's cool now. And then you just can't get over that hump to say, I guess because you're scared that they're going to say no. That they're not interested after all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and that's the hard part.
It is, and I think it's really cool that like we all have different fears, but what I thought was really cool about a lot of it was so far I think every diamond we've listened to has had fears about something, and I think that's kind of interesting. I think that's pretty common for most of us. So there may be some of us without fears. I don't know who. I'm not one of them, but you know there may be some.
Not me.
No fears,
Gary.
Gary. No fears.
Oh no, I've got 100 of them.
Oh,
Nobody. I come off like people think that I don't, and well, Todd knows. I'm a mental case. So.
Well, it's interesting you should say that, Gary, because as few people know that I'm not very outspoken, and I don't.
Yeah, a few people haven't met him yet. Other than that, yes.
And I'm really shy and introverted, so
Yes.
you wouldn't think that I'd have these fears that you know, because I don't find it hard to talk to people, but when it comes to the crunch in something like this, then you sort of all of a sudden the walls go up, and you know the devil's not only whispering in the ear, he's hitting you on the head, you know, type of thing.
I talked to a nice young man yesterday, and he's been really struggling with his Young Living business, and he said that the problem he had is he was afraid of talking to people, and I thought, well, that's interesting. He texted me today and said, "You'll never guess, I got a new job. It's so good. What are you doing?" He's selling. Oh, you'll like this, Nick. He's selling GM motor vehicles. He's a car salesman.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
So
and you know what? For those that don't know you, I've got a sales background. I worked in a motorcycle shop, sold motorcycles and everything. I sold cars. I worked for a national leasing company. I sold food to hotels and restaurants. I worked at Home Depot and worked in the flooring department and sold flooring projects. And I come to this and I get tongue-tied or whatever. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very interesting. Someone else like to jump in?
You know, one of the things, and a lot of the stuff we just heard, I heard too, but one of the things that she said is, fear leads to excuses. And so when you have those fears, we tend to just, make an excuse. Oh, I don't have time, or I can't do this, or I'm not comfortable doing that. And so it all leads back to, dealing with those fears head on and going after them.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd. Yeah, that's really true. It does. It leads to huge excuses. You're right. We could always postpone something. At least I can.
One of the things that I had just seen posted on Facebook was, instead of saying I don't have time, start saying it's not a priority for me. And start realizing how often you'll quit saying you don't have time. You don't want to tell people that what they're asking you to do is not a priority for you. And that really, really, I know that wasn't part of the call, but it resonated with me big time, because everybody in this day and age is so busy. They're really not. They just have different priorities.
Right.
That's really good, Amy. I like that. Instead of I don't have time, it was
it's not a priority for me.
Not a priority. I like that.
You're less likely to come out and tell somebody that, and then you're eliminating your excuse, because you really do have time. It's just easy to tell people that.
That's correct. That's awesome, Amy. Thank you. I thank you for that. That's great.
I didn't come up with it. I just read it on Facebook.
Yeah, I wanted to use that on my boss. Just tell him it's not a priority.
It's not a priority. It'll work out every time.
Then I can do this Then I get to do this full time. That would work perfect.
It's a really good idea, Todd. You should take a whack at that. See what happens.
Right?
Someday it'll happen.
Good.
Sometimes you use that. You can turn the table and say, well, it's not a priority, and you get busy doing something else. Maybe it's related to your Young Living business, but it's not what you should be doing. And you're saying, oh, this is more important than making a care call or something, type of thing. So you got to be careful where, that's something that I have to work on too, is, not getting sidetracked and making up a priority list.
Yeah. Karen, since you're up in the corner, oh, Yvonne, you're on there? Go for it, Yvonne.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. I think one of the things we keep hearing over and over again, right, is do it anyway and then no complaining.
Yeah.
We hear it from everyone, right? But it really resonates too. You just really gotta make it a priority.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when you do it and it works and everything goes well, you feel really, really, really good.
Yes, that you've actually accomplished what you were afraid to do in the first place.
That's right. And it feels good.
Yeah.
And then you kick yourself over why you didn't do it sooner.
That is true.
And it wasn't as hard as you made it out to be.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it always seems difficult until you actually step up and try it. Yeah. Good one, Gary.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Karen, do you want to jump in?
Well, I didn't get through all of it. Oh, well. There was one part that she said there was busy is not a badge. So we think we have to earn badges or whatever, but busy isn't one of them. So I thought that was kind of cool. No, you don't have to keep saying it. Yeah. You can just say it's not a priority, right?
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And again on this video, and I'm not sure if this is the second or third one, or if they all mentioned it, about confront your fears with your mentor or your accountability partner. I think that's the third or fourth video in a row that they've talked, and they were pretty adamant about having an accountability partner. And when you see that coming out of that many diamonds, you sort of say, okay, maybe there's something to it.
Yes.
If you're dragging your feet in doing that.
Well, there is something about having an accountability partner and telling them what your fears are, what you're trying to accomplish, and any problems you might be having reaching that goal, and having them giving you, saying, okay, we'll do something next Tuesday or whatever the date is, or tomorrow, and then having it makes it very difficult to back out. It makes it very difficult to not go through with what you said you were going to try and accomplish. It does. Accountability partners are really a good thing. Yeah, makes it difficult.
I was going to ask opinion if anyone on this call does have accountability partners. Where do you do you go with someone in your own team, or would you be better going cross-line, like someone in team Inukshuk but not your actual close-knit team? Would you be better to go with someone cross-line so that you're not using one of your downline people?
I don't think it matters really. It's finding somebody that resonates you more than anything, right? If you've got things in common with other people, and because sometimes people, when you're too close, that's not always a good thing either. It all depends on your relationship with somebody, right? My husband would be a horrible accountability partner. Horrible, right? We just don't need nothing to argue about, but somebody that you have contact with all the time doesn't mean somebody you personally see all the time. You just need to be in contact with them on a regular basis so that you're.
I chose not to have somebody on my team on purpose because I didn't want them to know all my fears so that they didn't take on my fears.
That's
right.
Yeah. My team members. Yeah, I went cross-line in at Team Inukshuk.
Well, and I just thought cross-line, I guess personally for me, would maybe make me more accountable because I could probably let a person I was close to, I could come up with excuses for them. But if I didn't know the person, I would be less likely to put them off or whatever.
Yeah.
I think in one of the videos before, I'm not sure if it was Carol's or the ones before that, where they talked about accountability partner, and it was it doesn't matter, it could be downline, upline, crossline, whoever you feel is going to propel you or make you accountable for doing what you say you're going to do and making commitments and following through on your commitments. And she was pretty pretty adamant about the fact that it doesn't matter who your accountability partner is, as long as you pick one that you can get along with, or that works for you.
I think the other thing to think about too is, they say associate with the people that you want to be like. So, you know what I mean? Because that attitude wears off on you. So you wouldn't want to pick somebody as an accountability partner that doesn't portray that type of thing, that negativity and stuff like, if that's what you're trying to get out of, don't pick somebody that has that, because it's just going to drag you back down to that, right? So pick somebody that's going to elevate you to the next level, right?
Yeah.
I agree, Yvonne. That's perfect. What do you think, Amy?
Yeah, no, those are all very good suggestions. Now I just got to think of a good accountability. Because I think they would make a big difference. I think it would be something that would make me more accountable, I guess. And I think that's one of my downfalls currently, is that I do come up with excuses and I don't do what I should be doing. But I think if I could find someone that was a good fit for that role, that I think it would make a bigger difference in.
Mm-hmm. Something that might be interesting to do as an exercise, to get to for that, is that what she talked about, list your strengths and list your weaknesses. Mm-hmm. There's that power of putting that on paper, because you'll probably have a bigger list on the weaknesses than on the strengths. You're not being fair to yourself.
That's right.
Most of us are far harder on ourselves than we should be. Right. But if you see your weaknesses are in a certain area, try to pick a partner that has strengths in that area, right? So that you're learning.
That's awesome, Yvonne. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think that's a perfect choice. Perfect choice for you. So there you go, Amy. Now you got to find that person. Victoria, what did you think of Corey's video?
Well, my biggest takeaway was the one sentence I posted. The whatever you're afraid to do is the thing you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. With the accountability partners, I've sort of ended up with two. One is actually my boyfriend, because he sees me every day and he knows my habits. So he'll say, "Why didn't you do that today?" And then I can't make up an excuse, because he's literally watching me sit on the couch watching Netflix. So I can't make up an excuse for that. The other one is actually Katrina. And we started doing like biweekly or monthly calls, which I was afraid to do. So I did it. And we've been doing it. It's been going really well. And then we had one last night. And this point just resonated with me, because she put me up against a wall pretty much last night. There's one person on my team that I have to talk to about business, because I think they would be perfect, and they're using their oils without me even having to help them along, and they're finding it all on their own, and I haven't mentioned the business to him. And she was like, "You have 2 weeks to do this." So all of a sudden I'm like, I have a fear that I have to do, because it's something I need to be doing in the first place. So the accountability partner really helped with that. It was kind of an accidental accountability partner, but that resonated, because I was like, that's the thing that I have to do that I'm not doing, and I'm making up all these excuses to not do it. So that's mine.
Good for you, Victoria. That's pretty great. Good for you. That's pretty brave. Good for you. Gary, we haven't heard much from you. That's kind of unusual.
No, I'm taking it all in, and I chose one of my good friends as the accountability partner. And what's resonating with what all you guys are saying, is I'm finding true, is that with friends we tend to be a little too understanding and too soft on each other, because we understand where they're coming from and very sympathetic and so forth. And the accountability part of it really kind of goes out the window. So I need to be rethinking my strategy on that front as well.
Okay, cool. I thought one of the things was interesting was brought up by one of our members, And she was saying that she didn't really feel that she had any fears, which I thought was kind of cool because there's not many people that can fall into that category. And but I was just wondering what it would look like if we took a look at all of the people in our groups, and what would it look like if we help them get over their fears. Like in her case, she's saying she has none. That's perfect. But all the people in her downline, maybe they have fears. I'm thinking, just from hearing all of us here, we all obviously have some fears. And I've talked to very few people who don't have some, for sure. And so it would be really cool, I think, if we all worked on helping all those other people overcome their fears. It might actually help us overcome ours and really push organizations a lot harder and faster as well. What do you think? Just as a thought, just throwing it out there.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. And like you said, Bill, because these are people you've already talked to, they're already in the business, that you have a working relationship with, not specifically working, but you have a relationship with. So it's easier to talk to them about their fears. And if their fears are similar to yours and you work on their fears, you're automatically going to get over your fears. That's a really good point. I made a note of that.
That's perfect, Nick, because you're right. We tend to have very similar fears, and with helping them overcome theirs, you kind of get pushed into it, whether you like it or not. Good one, Nick.
But that also comes back to the whole, if you want to achieve your goals, help other people achieve theirs.
True.
Right? I mean, it all goes together.
It all goes together, Yvonne. Yes, it does. It does. It's pretty great. I thought it was kind of interesting that Corey as well, she didn't like oils particularly when she started this, which I thought was really kind of cool. She didn't want to build a business. She didn't like MLMs. I'm going, wow, for someone who's achieved what she's done in such a relatively short period of time, she had a lot of things that, she had a lot of fears, a lot of things that went against her being a success. If anybody shouldn't have been a success, it should have been hers. She should not have been a success at all, and yet she's done very well. She didn't like selling things to people. I was just going, oh, isn't this everybody's stuff? You know, I was going, that's pretty cool. It's kind of fitting everybody's stuff, and yet she still did it. So tough lady.
Well, that comes back to one of the very, very beginning, I think it was, where she says, just do it anyway.
Just do it anyway. Yeah.
Just do it anyway.
One of the other points that I made a note of that hit home for me was find out what you're afraid of and just do it. Like that point is, but also work within your strengths and find people that are good at your weaknesses.
Yes.
And work together in that. So weaknesses.
Yeah, so play to your strengths.
Nick,
that's good.
and that's kind of what I've done as well.
Indeed it is, yeah.
I did the same sort of thing with my upline, and I found it's really made a really huge difference. Her and I kind of team up together, and I'm way past the point of needing the immediate support of my upline to teach classes and such, but she struggles in wanting to do a lot of the presenting, whereas that really doesn't seem to bother me a whole lot. But for me, it's more the details. It's, we got to figure out how much is this make and take going to cost us? Because we got to charge people a certain amount to come here, and I don't want to be bothered with that garbage. But I'll get up there and show them how to do it. That's no problem. So we kind of work together that way, where I kind of pass off some of the, the technical things or the nonsense that I don't want to deal with. And she, it's a good partnership. It's worked out really well for us. We're building quite well like that.
But at the same time, when you're doing that, you're learning from what she's doing and she's learning from what you're doing. So eventually you'll both up your weaknesses or what you were weak, the stuff that you weren't interested in doing before. And with anything, the more comfortable you are with something, and the more you know about it, the more you learn about it, the more comfortable you'll be with it. And as a result, then you won't be holding yourself back as much when that kind of stuff comes up in the future.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
That goes true to, looking for prospects too. I've looked at my strengths and my weaknesses, and then I looked at people who have already signed up, under me, and other people who I know, and I really kind of targeting those skills, because when you look at building your team, you look at what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and wouldn't it be great if you could find somebody that is strong in your weaknesses, right? Like I'm terrible at written word. Like I have no phonics ability. I can't spell worth crap. Right. But one of my girlfriends who signed up under me right at the very beginning used to write speeches for different government people. Right. So what a great person to team with. Get her to help proofread some of my things and stuff like that. And then the training as I'm writing new scripts and stuff like that is going to her to get some proofreading, not to change my vocabulary, because she'd change it all to like perfect English. And I don't personally think that is the right thing to do, because they buy you, not the product, right? And so it's about your personality. And if you're changing your personality, then you look fake, right? So if I use an idiotism all the time in my talking, then it's okay to have that in my writing, because that's just who I am, right?
Well, anybody that's read anything that I've done know that I have my own personal dictionary, and Debbie says to me all the time, "Well, that's not a proper word, or that's not a real word." I said, "Well, it is in my dictionary." One of these days I'm going to get my dictionary out and show her. But it is, you're right, Yvonne, because it is who you are, and people, when they read your stuff, they don't look at some of those dictionary words that I use and say, "What kind of friggin' word is that?" They just know that's me, and that's who I am. So they don't question. And once they've read a couple, mind you, the first couple maybe, but after that, they know that I come up with my own words.
When you can often, if you follow different people, like on Facebook and stuff like that, you can read a post and not see who wrote it, and a lot of times you can guess.
You know who it is.
Wrote it. Yeah. Based on the vocabulary in which they have, right?
Yep.
It's part of who we are.
It is.
That's our personality.
Yeah.
Some of us have a little stronger personality than other people.
This doesn't exactly relate, but one of my fears about talking about the technical things about Young Living is that I don't always have the right pronunciation of some of these difficult words, right? But I have learned that if you say it with confidence, it doesn't matter how you say it, they're going to believe you, because they can't pronounce it either. So go for it. Just spit it out there. Throw it out there. They can't say it anyway. And everyone just moves on, and it works out just fine. So that just is part of, if you don't know, just go for it. It's okay.
Yeah. Awesome, Amy. It's true. Everybody say Copaiba. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, one of the girls that she can't say Copaea, so she's like, cope. She just calls it cope. But everybody knows what she's talking about anyway. Yeah. Right?
That's great. Hi, Jan. Do you want to jump in on anything? Jan, you want to jump in? Okay, not? Okay, that's good. Maybe your mic's not working or whatever.
Yeah, maybe it's not working.
I noticed another thing that a lot of people brought up in their comments as well, where it was the business about a thermometer, and having a thermostat or a thermometer, and your temperature does depict what your team's temperature looks like. And I think that's quite important. I think it's a lot more important than some. Oh, it says we're going to quit here soon. Okay, fine. And they're giving me a warning on my screen. I don't know whether you see the same warning on yours, but
yeah, 9 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just had a warning come up saying, get off. Yeah, no. But I thought it was a really kind of an interesting thought, and I hadn't really thought about it in that term before, and I really like that terminology. Look at your thermometer, look at your thermostat, see what your what temperature your team is running at, and that will depict what everyone else starts running at the same sort of temperature.
Well, and Adam says that all the time too, but he just doesn't use the thermometer part, right?
Yep.
That if you stop doing stuff, they're going to stop doing stuff.
It's
right?
true.
They're looking for leadership.
Yep.
And that goes back to what on one of the other videos where it says, be a leader by leading and by leading by example. And if people see you doing these things, and then whether it's with them or they just see you doing it with other people, then they'll say, oh, well, maybe I should be doing that kind of thing too. So that just goes back to, like I said, leading by example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really good, Nick. What else would everybody like to talk about? Anything else you want to jump in on? I loved all your comments. I thought you were fantastic. Thank you, by the way. Thank everyone for all the comments they put out.
The other thing that I noticed, okay, I'll shut up when this is over.
No, I won't.
No.
Again, in this video, what came out again that's come out in a couple videos before that was stop complaining. I think there's been 2 or 3 out of the first 4 diamonds that have said, just stop your complaining. Jana or Tina or whatever was really hard on that. But I mean, in this one here again, one of the points she was making too was just stop complaining and do it. I mean, stop complaining.
Yep. That's good, Nick. Thank you. That's awesome. Next week, I'm going to post it right away for you. I've even got it already written up. Ooh, how's that for organized? Next week, we're going to look at Deborah Rayburn. It's only 32 minutes for Deborah. And she's going to talk about finding prospects outside of your warm market. So finding other prospects, different ways of looking and finding prospects. And we're also considering hers is so short, I'm going to do Adam Green. Going to do his. His is short as well. It's only 20 minutes. Him and Vanessa have some really good stuff. They're talking about crushing your limiting beliefs. And then there's also an Adam one. I'm going to give you that post as well. Adam and Vanessa talking about just a question and answer. They did a very short one, and they had just a pile of people asking them questions. So and to be honest, I think their question and answer might be as good as any of I've seen. So I might be biased, but
a little bit.
Might be a little bit, yeah. So we're going to do Deborah's and Adam and Vanessa's next time around. And but even with all of them combined, it's still not going to be. It's probably going to be close to an hour with the whole thing.
I know we just have a limited audience here, but I just thought I'd bring up that convention tickets are available.
Yep.
There's today when they're at a discount, and now's the time to book. Start looking for flights if you need the flights, and even more so hotels, and find somebody to team up with and to share accommodation with to make it more affordable. But now's the time to do it and make your plans to budget for it. And it's the best time to do it because you get the best price.
Yep. Get your motorcycle tuned up so we can all ride down.
Okay, Bill, did Carla mention our conversation about the trip down?
She did. We'll have to have a discussion about that.
No, we won't. He's not doing that.
Don't listen to her.
Ride with you guys, but it's a little bit far.
Oh, no.
Amy, you can get on the back with me anytime. If it happens, it's from what I understand, it'll probably be a 3 or 4 day trip from Calgary to. I'd be going out to Calgary and down if we were doing it. It'll be Calgary. It'll be done over 3 or 4 days and maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. Correct, Bill?
Yeah, that's about right. Yep.
Listen, I don't need to ride on the back. I have my own bike, guys.
Come on, Amy. We're going, man. This is good, Amy.
Well, drive it out to Calgary. We'll all go together, or hook up with Scott in Minnesota.
It's awfully tempting.
Think on it, Amy.
I'm
Think on
tempted.
it.
I'm really tempted. And it's been like 35 years since I've ridden a motorcycle. But you
Then
never.
I'm definitely not riding with you. No.
Oh, I'd get some practice in beforehand. I might have to take an extra week Calgary next year week. They do some practicing.
Oh boy.
Well, thanks, guys. Thank you all very much. Thank you for all your input. It's been awesome. You're great people. Thank you so kindly. And
Thanks, Bill.
talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, Bill. Take care.
Thank you.
Take care. Good night.
Good night.